Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs on the YouTube. Dave here in the garage. Got some paint on, if you watched the last video you would have seen that. And you would have seen the little blemishes that I got in here. I'm just going to do a little sort of updatey sort of video and my little process on how I'm going to fix that. Basically I don't think I'll redo the colour, I think I should. That's actually come out quite a lot when it dried, but there is a slight sag in the old, in the pearly kind of metallics and stuff, unfortunately. So, but I think there's a head sits right about there, so it's not going to be super visible. I'm going to fix it. So that's what this video is about. Bit of wet sanding and final flow coat, so it should just be a little short video, hopefully. Hopefully not a big epic thing. Anyway, let's get at it. So I'm just gonna give it a bit of a quick knockdown with some 800 just to knock the text, you know, it's not textured but the little feeling out of it, and then I'll probably give it a quick whiz over, give most of it a whiz over with some 1500, and then on the weekend, because it is currently Thursday night, I will, actually feels quite good, there's a couple of dry spots down here, but on the weekend I shall just give it a quick blow over to even it out again with the old lacquer, needs water. And unlike earlier, I'm actually going to use the block on this, because on this section here, just gently take the sort of high spots off of that. This is my plan. Anyway. And that's about all I'm going to do with the 800. That simple. Couple of little grooves and scratches in that and shrink back sort of things, but I'm not too fussed about it. A couple of other bits where I sanded a bit much, like in sanding out that fingerprint that I put in there. I ended up digging a slight groove in there, but again, not going to worry about it. Couple of little marks in here that I didn't sand out enough, but again, not going to worry about it. It's a little bit dry inside this ridge here, so I'm going to get in to do that with a little bit of 800, just take the dry spot off it. I'll just go around and do a little bit of quality control after the fact. Should have done some of this beforehand, but thought I'd sort of done enough prep work on this that it was going to be, you know, pretty good. But a couple of bits I kind of could have done a bit more time on. That's how it is, you know. A couple of little nicks in the old body filler and a couple of little scratches here and there that I didn't get all the way out. On the whole though, it did come up quite nice. It's nice, not bad for off the gun. Just a few bits that I left a little bit dry here and there, like this down here. And that's about it with the, what did I say, 800. So I'll grab some 15 and rinse and repeat. I don't quite know how I did that, but I managed to rub right through into the primer on there when I was rubbing that. But oh dear, must be in a high spot or something, but Oh well, looks like I am going to be touching up the colour somehow. We'll see how that works. Ugh. Oh well, I'll carry on wet and drying this whole thing, and then yeah. Oh, what a bummer. How did I do that? Must have just been... Check it out. Oh, I'm trying to get some bit of light. That's where I rubbed through. What an amateur. How did I do that? I have to look back on the video footage and see how I what was happening with my sanding block and stuff when I did that, because I'm kind of a little bit disappointed in myself, to be honest. Yeah, you can only laugh. But yeah, so I might try touching it up with an airbrush and see what happens. I could be just, you know, I kind of thought there was going to be more colour, more clear on there than that. Yeah, so just giving it a bit of a wipe down to take all the moisture and dust and stuff off it, dry it off, and yeah. Probably need to flatten off some more of that actually. You can see the kind of spray pattern in there, and that bit's all smooth where I was trying to shave out those little lumps, and took that off just like that bit. Anyway, carry on drying this off. Oh, looks like the airbrush doesn't want to put it down. It seems to be kind of like separating the metallics differently to the HBLP gun that I've used. So it's kind of left it a bit bluier, I think. I might squirt a touch of clear over the top of it and just see what it looks like. With some clear, I just sprayed a little bit of thinners over it just now to see if it will flatten down. I might try just a wee scotch of clear just to see if that makes a difference, and if not, then I will have to put some in a proper gun and squirt some and see if I can blend it across. I don't know if this will show up on the camera, but shadows and all sorts of stuff, but right through there where I squirted up that bit with the airbrush, it definitely sprays different enough that it, yeah, you can see the metallics kind of like sitting on top. So yeah, maybe the airbrush was too fine for metallics, I don't know. I do have another airbrush. I should just do it how I did it the first time. It means I've got to clean all the clear out of that gun, some of that in there, squirt that on there. Know what I'm saying? Okay, I don't know whether I filmed that thing there. I just mixed up a wee scotch of the colour and kind of feathered it around on there. I've given it a couple of light dustings, and I actually rubbed through up there because I wasn't watching what I was doing. Obviously didn't have enough colour in that groove, and I was just rubbing away blindly, as you saw earlier. So I've had to put a little bit in there too, but that's not looking too bad now. And it's flattening off quite nice. So the colour's good up there, I think. Looks alright. Looks alright to me. It's not really what my plan was tonight, but I was just going to rub back those little washing machine. I was just going to rub back those little, is it finished? Little doodads, and leave it till the weekend and just give it one more kind of blow over with the old clear, and flow it out, and that was going to be it. But here we are, because I wasn't paying attention. I was showing off to the camera like, this is what you do with the 800, mate. Like I think I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just was rubbing away blindly, not paying attention to where the rest of my sandpaper was, and I rubbed through my colour and my clear. What an amateur. There's actually a little flat spot there now. I should have rubbed it out a little bit more, but anyway, another amateur mistake. I'm just going to give it a bit more of a feathering and washing machine. Call it a night. Plenty on there now. Okay, so if anyone's wondering, that was a Iwata HP Eclipse. Awesome airbrushes for drawing pictures and airbrushing picture work stuff. Real good universal airbrush. Probably the best I've ever used. But I started out with Iwata airbrushes many moons ago on in my sign writing apprenticeship, and that's what we had at the workshop. And they took a pounding. They were always left with dry paint and that in them, but washing machine. But they just kept on going, clean them out, keep on using them. Not really ideal for what I tried to do. I was just trying to get away from mixing up heaps more paint and stuff like that. Not that it's not a big deal. So quickly done that anyway. So I'll leave that alone now. This is why I can't have shiny shit, because I just damage it. I haven't even finished it and I damaged it. But so come weekend I will just give that one more flow over with some clear, and then I'll leave it the hell alone. I might have to actually build a bit more clear up over all that shit actually, and then flow coat. Anyway, I'll figure it out on the weekend maybe. Haven't got a full weekend at it. Got to go out on Saturday. But I might be able to hit this first thing in the morning, and then that'll be done. Still want to build an exhaust. Hey guys, Dave here, back again. I actually I'm just carrying on from my previous where I stopped the other night. Saturday now, it's not raining, which is great. It's still pretty cold though. Yeah, cold snap come up the country during the week, and whoa, that was a bit of a shock to the system. So we're kind of really sliding into winter as we speak. But so where are we at? Touched up. I think it's kind of hard to see with this light, but I think that kind of blend across should be alright once we get a bit of clear on there. So I'm gonna shoot a kind of light coat over there, maybe a couple of light coats over that where I did the blend and a little touch up from my little faux pas with the old sanding block, and let that kind of settle in a little bit, see what it does, and then I'll come back and kind of flow coat the whole thing a bit more heavy a little bit later on. Yeah, see where I'm going with that, hopefully. Okay, so let's get at it. Okay, so dusted a few coats and that on there, just from the bits that I had to touch up the other night. It is what it is, you know. So I'll go and do something else for a little bit, and then I'll come back.
retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed.
Okay, so gave it another kind of good coat with, you know, a good 50-50 clear mix sort of thing. With this Julian, it's 50% product, 50% thinners. In my case, in this situation, I thinned it 40% normal thinners and 10% retarder thinners, which I said slows that shit down so it dries a bit slower and it doesn't go milky apparently. Still a little fumey in here, probably should be waiting a little longer. So I'll let that sort of sit for a little bit. I've got one more coat I'm going to do, which is just like a thinner coat again. It's just to help kind of like lay it out. It's kind of a little thing I do with Julian. The final kind of coat's just mostly thinners, takes up some of the dry spots and helps kind of flatten things out a little bit. But you got to be a bit careful because it's, you know, full of solvent, that if you got anything underneath that paint that doesn't like lack of solvent, then fizzy. Yeah, so that's, yeah, we should be good with this. So this all pretty much went back to bare metal. But yeah, but the blend looks good at this point with clear on it. So I can't really see it, so that should be okay. But it's not a big deal. It's just under the bonnet. Okay, so give that a little bit, and then we'll go and hit that last final flow coat. Last coat, hopefully. Wish me luck.
The darkness, make true of an empty promise. Flip cards into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Alrighty, so I just can't stop saying that, but that's that final flow coat. I just kind of went through, that was a real thin, like thinned out final coat. Just helps kind of like lay things down a little bit. We're still kind of keeping our gloss. It must be a dry enough air at the moment to feel good. Bit orange peely in places. It was flatter the first time round, and now I don't know whether I twiddled with the gun settings and stuff and upset it, but she's a little bit orange peely, but she's pretty flat kind of where it counts. Not that this is a really super important part of the old visuals, if you know what I mean. I kind of like it to get a little bit glassier if I can, but I'm just not that good off the gun. But I'm trying to do this off the gun because I don't want to get in here and be wet sanding and polishing and stuff like that, because it's just the firewall, man. But I think that'll be alright. It's not mint. There's a few little pinholes that I've found since in the body filler and stuff like that, and a few little bits that I didn't actually smooth out that well now that it's got shiny shit on there. But that's alright. It's the nature of the game when you kind of amateur hour at the old DMAT Customs. So that's it. Hopefully that's the firewall done. Hopefully I won't damage it again or anything like that, but I probably will, and if that's the case I'll probably just get a little brush and I'll touch it up with a brush and you'll see that forevermore. Yeah, so it's good to see a little bit of colour and shiny on the kind of things. As much as I don't like owning shiny cars, I still have two minds of how to go about doing this, but we'll just have to wait and see. So my little fixing up my screw up, and then screwing up my fix up, and then fixing up my screw up of my screw up, and the final flow coat done. So that's it. So that's where I'm going to leave this little video. If you haven't subscribed, get in there and subscribe, hit the button, do us a favour. Follow along with the rest of this build. There's a lot being done, but there's still a lot to go. And yeah, thanks for watching as always if you made it this far. And yeah, be good to your mother, take it easy, and peace.